Welcome to episode number 5 of the Not Salty podcast. In this episode, we talk to our friend, the local radio personality, to discover how he became the voice of Garrett County. We talk about how he ran a trivia show, the best in the area. We also figure out that Adam Levine from Maroon 5 may not be his biggest fan because he stole a gig from him. Yes, he is that cool. At this time, I'd like to introduce to you my friend, the voice of Garrett County, Connor Norman. And here we go. This is episode number 5. Mike, did you have a good Thanksgiving?
I did. It was lovely.
How did your diet work out?
It was ended. It was over.
You're officially done.
I was done the night before, and I was hungover all Thanksgiving. Yeah.
So Thanksgiving Day, was it actually the day before Thanksgiving?
Yes, technically the day before Thanksgiving. Had band practice, went up to Black Bear. All my friends abandoned me, so I sat there and drank by myself. And then I went home, fell asleep. Mandy picked me up, thank goodness, and I cooked all day. It was nice.
You fell asleep at Black Bear?
No, not this time. No.
Cooler. So in case you haven't been listening, shame on you. And Mike's been on a pretty intense diet. What'd you call it? The Fenton 60-day soft?
Yeah, so 60 soft.
Watching what you eat, working out, and not drinking for 60 days.
Mm-hmm.
Then it ends. And then that's Wednesday. You go to Black Bear and have a good time.
Yeah, drink some Guinness.
Thursday is Thanksgiving. So
Yes.
you eat a bunch.
Cheese, carbs.
Did you
beer,
manage to
wine.
gain,
Mandy and I drank like 3 bottles of wine.
Did you gain all your weight back in one day?
In water. Literally I looked like a pimple. I'm like talking to my mom on Zoom. I'm like, is that me? Oh my God, what happened?
One holiday just blew 60 days.
Yeah, word to the wise, when you don't eat carbs at all and then you eat 4,000 calories in carbs, it makes you swell up like a pimple.
Wow, we're glad you're back in the real world.
Me
And
too.
looks like you're enjoying that beer, so good for you.
Delicious.
What is it you're drinking? You said it was your favorite.
Celebration Ale is my favorite Christmas ale. It's just kind of like an IPA. It's hoppy. It's got some spices, but not super spicy, and it's on tap at Mountain State Brewing Company right now.
Nice. Give him a little plug. So we are here today with Connor Norman. Connor, welcome.
Guys, thank you so much for having me. Excited to be here in the studio with you guys.
So, Connor, you actually have radio experience, interviewing experience, and it's probably safe to say you're the most professional in the room. So we're glad to have you here. We take criticism. It is very fine to tell us what we're doing wrong. If we're doing something right, tell Kristin, because she's very sensitive. She would appreciate the comments.
Okay. I'll make sure to take notes.
I was going to interject and say, please don't tell me what I'm doing wrong.
Okay.
No, she's really good at telling you what you do wrong, but yeah.
It's a blessing.
Okay. I'm going to be taking copious notes this entire time, and I'll do feedback with you guys afterwards. No worries.
Wow. In the headset, you sound like a legit DJ. Like, you sound great. I don't know how it's going to be recorded, but it sounds.
I don't know why.
Great.
This is my first time on the mic.
Okay, there you go. in our beautiful waiting room while we were out there, you were telling me you've been in radio for 15 years.
So, yeah, it's been audio production, radio, and kind of live entertainment for the last 15 years. Garrett County has kind of known me as the voice of Garrett County. I spent, the last 2 years as the afternoon DJ jock on 104.5 WKHJ.
Whoop, whoop.
They could also find me on 95.9 and, of course, 1050 WMSG. That was probably one of my favorite things I've ever done. I ran the Con Air show. So for the Con Air show,
that's a good name.
Fans out there, yeah. How do you think I came up with
I
that?
don't know. I'm impressed. That's a good name.
Actually, it was after my first week of live on the air radio. I was so excited, and I'm thinking, why? I've never been good at coming up with like a fake name, and on radio, that's probably like the first thing you should do, right? I'm on there giving police reports, doing saying this wild stuff. And I've been using my actual name, Connor Norman, over the air for so long. And people were like, why don't you use a fake name? My other DJ jocks in the area would come to me and they say, why didn't you come up with a fake name? And I said, listen, I've never been good at that. And they said, yeah, well, when we start getting those threats sent to the station and your name is attached to those, you're going to realize why we have different names.
I think I want a fake name all of a sudden. Can we put this as the not my podcast?
We'll just retroactively fit beep over your name on all the others.
Just stop it. No. It's a joke, especially around here. I mean, nothing to worry about. I've used Connor Norman for years, but after that first week of my first on-air time in a commercial market, I was like, Con Air show. That's what I want to be.
Wasn't it a Nicolas Cage movie? Or not Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
was it?
Yeah. Oh, Nick Cage.
Well, okay,
Nick Cage with long, flowy hair.
You got it. It was the Nick Cage movie. Everybody's familiar with that.
Okay,
You literally just busted.
I second guessed myself. Okay.
But it's a double play. You know what I mean? Because
it's so
your
good.
name on the air,
yes.
and everybody's going to be like, that
I've
sounds
never
familiar.
seen the movie,
What is
so
that?
it's original
It
to
was
me.
Connor's airtime, so it made sense. Con Air.
Better than snakes on a plane.
Way
And
better.
to avoid the cease and desist orders, I did use 2 N's instead of 1. Because there's the hair dryer and brush brand too.
That's
They didn't
right.
send you a letter. Did they really send you a letter?
No.
No,
I
once they listen
was
to this
getting ahead of it.
podcast, I mean, all
My inbox is being blown up.
You seem like the type of guy who has lots of insurance. You know what I mean? Like insurance for different things.
Yeah,
and,
you really have to.
And your name. I know. It's a good way to spend
I
money.
saw a charity thing you could buy the other day, and you could pay money to a charity, and certain celebrities would follow you. Like, I bet you we could pay him to follow us on Instagram so he would notice our podcast. We should look into
Yeah,
that.
what charity should we donate to?
But it's got to be him. It can't really be him. Look
Who?
at it.
Him?
No, there's a charity that celebrities
Nick
will
Cage.
follow.
is-
Oh, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Kind of cheesy. This makes you look cool even when you're not.
Hey, man, if I'm famous, that's what I'll do. If people, spend money on charities.
Great idea. If somebody, you can pick the charity. If somebody wants me to follow them, send $50 to Connor's charity.
All right, now I have to think
Cash,
of the charity.
please.
Yeah, I'm going to come up with a good one.
Hey, so I skipped over because I got excited because you sound so good on the radio. I should have asked you first, so backtrack. Are you from here? Did you grow up here? Or how did you get here? Or tell us your story.
Okay, so a lot of people have asked me this all the time. A lot of people assume that I'm just from Garrett County.
I thought you were.
That is not true. Actually, I moved here around 17 years ago, originally out of Detroit, Michigan. I spent a lot of time.
Did you know Kid Rock?
I was on a personal first name basis with
I think
both
he'll
Kid
follow
Rock,
us.
Eminem
Kid,
too.
We just call him Kid.
No, I'm out of Detroit, Michigan area, and moved here about 17 years ago. Now, I had some family in the area. Biddingers off Mayhew End. Everyone's going to know that. That's around here. Big name. But I had some family in that area. My grandma moved to Detroit in the 50s for work. And when she was down there, she had my mom and dad met in Detroit. And we had some family in this area. And quite honestly, dad was a truck driver. Mom was a stay-at-home mom. They both went to school to be nurses because they wanted to move here. We used to vacation here. Whenever we could, afford to come down and check out the more snow. We left super cold and snow for more snow. That's how we vacationed.
Can we go to Florida? No, we're stopping at Deep Creek.
No, we don't do beaches. We're going to lakes.
He's a
Cold
trucker.
and
He
lakes.
could have thrown you in the back of the truck. Come on, kids.
So yeah, they became nurses, and we could kind of move anywhere. So the first thing they do is they got a job out of Morgantown, and we moved here, and that's kind of what brought me to the area.
So how old were you? Were you still in school, or did you graduated? Or?
Let's see. When I moved here, I was in 8th grade.
Oh,
That
you
would have
count
made
as a
me.
local. If you've lived here since 8th grade, you're local.
Yes,
I think so. I got the
Good
middle.
or bad?
From
I
what
got the
I-
whole. I got the whole high school experience.
Ooh,
under
which
my
high
belt.
school did you go to?
I'm a Southern boy.
Ooh, what year
yeah.
did you graduate?
I graduated 2010. Actually, same year as Kristin, which I
Yeah.
often forget. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I always forget we graduated the same class, which she has reminded me of avidly.
I can't remember what year it was, and she's going to kill me for it because I do know she listened to the first podcast because I sent it to her and made her do it. But my mom was the principal of Southern High School. And I think it was after you guys graduated.
No, yeah, it was after. She wasn't there.
I was there the other day, and in the library, there's a gigantic picture of my mom up on the wall.
Oh, nice.
Great. It's awesome. We should interview her sometime.
So, from my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, you might know this, but you guys probably, or at least Kristin, there's a different classification between native and local? Or am I just making that up? Did I just hear that from somebody? And
Nobody that's from here would ever say native.
Unless you're an Indian.
You're making that up.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I heard it from a
pretty much
so-called
local.
native. I don't know.
No, I would never say that. That's,
Well, if you were born here is what I'm talking about.
no,
Like, if you
you
were
would
born
just
here.
you're just local.
Okay, well, that's fine.
There's a word you're looking for, but it's not native, and I can't think of what it is.
I'm sorry. It
we'll
might
just go
not
local.
might not be podcast friendly.
We'll just go local.
So where are you from again? Can we go back?
And now, a word from our sponsor.
And now a
Good
word from the
Lord.
sponsors. And that's where you put that in here, and that makes sense to break it all up.
We are getting good tips from this podcast.
I love it.
Digging it.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited, and see, I'm happy to be on the 5th episode. 5, lucky number for me.
There you go.
So this is so good to see how you guys are going to be growing this thing. I'm excited.
So you move here, you're in 8th grade, you like it, it's the country, your family have a good time, graduated Southern High School, and somehow you get into music, DJing, and decide you want to be on the radio?
Yeah, so it's a funny trajectory. You know, my parents are in the medical field, they're nurses, so I'm thinking that's the way I want to go. But I don't know. Garrett County was just so much of a fun experience. I wanted to get out there and do a little more, and there was so much opportunity here. That's why I loved living here. I'm like, man, back in the city, I had friends, it was a good time, but it wasn't like here. Here, I felt like I could, really expand myself and just do something fun. So, I always kind of branched out, tried to do some new things. I thought like I was going to end up in the medical field and do stuff like that. But let's back up and go to my very first job. I get a job out of the Deep Creek Lake McDonald's.
Nice.
And the first thing they
we
say,
literally work next door.
the first thing they say to me is, wow, you've got a really good voice. Go on the drive-through. So I kept having people coming through that
Upgraded.
drive-through. Now, mind you, at this point, I am 14 years old on a work permit, sitting in the drive-through at McDonald's. People are coming through, and it's like, oh my gosh, we thought you were a computer. We thought you were like a special voice.
That's a calling.
Like, this is insane. And believe it or not, I got enough of those compliments that I was like, oh, this is interesting. Okay, so let's fast forward a little bit. I'm in Walmart, and Bob Moore, he's still a local radio guy for KHJ. Sometimes he runs the afternoon. He's always on the weekends.
What's up, Bob?
What's happening, Bob? He's behind me in line at Walmart, and he taps me on the shoulder, and he says, you've got a fantastic voice for radio. Have you ever considered radio? And I was thinking,
Nah, I like McDonald's. It's cool.
I was thinking
about
whoa,
opening a
wait
franchise,
minute.
actually. But
I was like, wait a minute, this is Bob Moore. Like, this
Yeah.
is the guy that tells me when school is canceled. He is a big deal. Like, to me, it's a big celebrity at the time. And you still are a celebrity to me, Bob. Don't get
Us
me wrong.
too, especially if you follow our podcast.
Of course. So anyway, big celebrity tells me I've got a voice for radio because he caught me reading the As Seen on TV. I idolize Billy Mays and his pitch tactics, and I'm reading off a couple of his products, Connor Norman here, just going crazy with the stuff that I see
Some
there.
kid standing in line at Walmart.
And I'm like, as seen on TV, just fun stuff. And that's when he tapped me on the shoulder and said, hey, you sound good. You should be on radio. And I
Was your
thought
mom with you
nothing
being
of
like,
that.
shut up?
Yeah, well, she was like, this is typical. Just let him. It really didn't come back to me until I was in college. But in the meantime, I really loved music. I loved listening to music, and I had no actual talent for playing it or producing it. I look at an instrument and I just see Chinese symbols. Like, I cannot understand instruments. I put my hands to them and just these eerie, awful noises come out. So I was like, I can't actually be a musician. So I need to play music that other people have made, that they're good at it. I think I should play that for other people. So I start shadowing DJ Johnny Rock at the time. He was the big DJ.
I remember Johnny Rock.
Remember Johnny Rock? Yeah. So I was the guy carrying his equipment, often unpaid, but I would carry the coattails and kind of just learn the trade from him for quite a while. It's actually how I started like some of my first weddings. just kind of shadowing him, for pennies on the dollar. But, I got to learn how those things, how those parties were run, kind of music people were into. And I don't know, it just sparked a passion that really just ignited through me and kind of followed me, even up until now. In college, I got a chance to finally get my own radio show. Friday afternoons, it was called The Bro Show. I had,
This was supposed right to be up Mike's alley. You would love that.
Friday afternoon was called The Bro Show. All I did was play alternative music and talk about stuff that was going on in a bro's life, which was pretty much stupid. Like, hey, I had to walk up to the beer store. They wouldn't sell me beer because, I didn't have a fake ID. I wasn't old enough.
So it was fake? Like these are the stories you made up, or was it like about your real life?
No, this was real. This was.
Okay.
I didn't have any material to go off of, so I was like, I'm just going to talk about what's going on.
Before everyone had a podcast, you actually were doing it.
Oh yeah. And I had a live format to do it, so I was like, of course. But during that time, again, they were like, wow, you have a really good voice. Can you start reading these commercials for us? So I'd be in the middle of my show and I'd start reading the commercials, and they're like, okay, so our sponsors really like what you're doing. Keep doing that for us. And it's like, all right, well, I can start making money in this. And, it kind of went from that. I got through college, did my bro show, came back and got a job at Mountain State, believe it or not. Bartending behind the bar. I was 6 days past 21. College degree under my belt.
What year was this? Did you work there at the same time, Mike? Oh.
This was 2014.
What year did Mountain State open? Do you remember?
Just had their
I think 2012, right? 2012?
Yeah, 2012 maybe?
That sounds right. Yeah, they just had 10 years.
Okay, so
So
10
in the
years,
very
that's
beginning of Mountain State, you were working there.
Mountain State crew, I'm sorry in advance. I've literally been working with them 10 years now. And
This is why we need to phone a friend. We should call Aaron real quick. Hey, what year did you open?
pull her up. Come on, Mike, pull her up right now.
I don't have her numbers.
It's definitely 10 years. I pay attention.
At least 10 years.
It's over 10
at
years
least
for
10 years,
sure,
yeah.
because that's how long I've been with them. And they were open before I came along. Well, anyway, they bring in this trivia bingo company.
Dude, I remember this. Okay.
Yeah,
The Mountain State
and
Brewery.
he's sitting behind this guy. His name's Casey, and he's sitting on the other side, and he goes, again, you have a good voice. Would you be interested in running bingo for us? And I went, okay, sure. I told him my credentials, my radio experience, everything like that. And he said, well, I didn't need any of that. I just need a warm body to read off some
I just need
numbers.
somebody to read pieces of paper.
Man, I mentored under Johnny Rock. I'm good at this.
I am good at this. And he was like, well, I just needed a heartbeat. So, okay. So I
That's
get
how
on
it all
it.
starts, though, Somebody's just looking for a warm body to show up, and then you show up every day.
Yeah, and Casey, he's fantastic. He's been at it a long time. He is probably the best, one of the trivia bingo hosts that I've seen. But when I got on the mic and started doing it, again, everyone was blown away. They'd never heard anyone like me doing it. So it kind of just took off natural. But one of the caveats to doing that was he said, we can't really afford to hire you on. Can you start a company and just contract with us? And I'm like, okay, sure. I know nothing about being a business owner or anything like that, despite having just been through college with business administration.
Other than having an MBA, I know nothing about this.
Coming from the culinary world, I can tell you degrees don't usually mean much.
If your parents helped you through college, you just made them very proud.
Exactly. Like I get through college and I mostly am pouring beer and doing accounting, and I'm like, wow, I went to do this for business administration and like public relations and advertising. This is what I went for anyway. So I did it. I started a company that day, and for 10 years ran. I'm gonna brag and say the best bingo trivia show in
Hands
Western
down.
Maryland, hands down.
You were the only one.
Well, not only that, but not only did people talk about how much they enjoyed going to bingo, you were part of the reason that, I think. I mean, at least as far as I heard.
Are you still doing it?
See, I'll pay you later on that.
So we went to one about a year ago at Vagabond. They had a bingo trivia night thing. Was that you?
Yeah.
No, that wasn't me.
Thomas.
Okay.
That wasn't me. And that brings up a good point.
The business has changed.
There wasn't any trivia that happened in this town that Connor Norman didn't know about.
Okay.
I was the authority on trivia. If they were happening on my night, they were out of business the next day. So I'm like, listen,
Let me
you
tell
think
you.
this is good? You think this is
Soprano
good?
of trivia.
Come down.
You are not doing this in my town.
no, like
He is not a native.
all I had to do was show up at their show, and they were like, "Oh, all right,
I see.
I'm done.
Oh,
I got
shit.
you.
Connor's here.
Hey,
We're both
hey, everybody, can we welcome Connor to the building?
No, I was saying the business has changed because the one we went to, the guy was doing it great and he was doing the best he could, but everybody was cheating. Like 10 years ago, thinking about this 15 years ago when you started doing it, people didn't have iPhones that worked as fast as they do now. In this last trivia competition, everybody was cheating. Like they were hiding their phones.
Yeah, so
Like it almost takes the point away from the game.
I consider it like a given. Like to me, like trivia nights are like golf outings. It's like somebody's always cheating more than you, and you just got to accept it. But it's a shame. You're right. I mean, there's got to be some.
Just
standard.
We played
I
at
don't
Mountain
know
State
the
on St. Patrick's Day, right before I came to see your band, and we didn't cheat, and I think we got like third place.
So yeah, that was kind of the hard thing. You know, obviously phones and technology were ever prevalent, but you know, I would kind of throw some jokes in there. You know, make fun of people for using phones, and
I would totally mess with people. That'd be the fun part. If you're gonna cheat, I'm gonna make fun of you.
Yeah. I mean, I had no holds barred when it came to people that were cheating on their phones. But you know, people were generally honest. I think people liked the show so much because they thought there was a magic to it. And a lot of people would have assumed that the magic was me. I don't think that was it at all. I just made people put their phones away and have a good time with each other.
But that was probably the magic.
So
Like a lot of
that
people
was
would
the
do
magic.
still,
that.
I mean, you still get some credit for that.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
For sure.
Well, I'll take.
Do
I
you
got a big ego.
remember
I'll take
the
wherever I can get.
trivia? Like, if you went to trivia night, would you know how to answer the questions? Does it just go like in one ear and out the other
So
when you're
it
reading trivia?
absolutely does.
You have no
10
idea.
10
You've not
years,
retained any of the trivia.
Everybody's been trying to get you to be their partner.
tens of thousands of questions asked. Guarantee you, I've learned nothing.
Really?
Guarantee you.
Do you remember any trivia fact that you were like, oh my gosh, that's so cool?
Okay, so let me tell you this. There was one thing I remembered that just came in handy. So for the first time in my life, I actually went to a trivia show down there at Pawn Run. So I go to there to
As a
Pawn Run
participant.
Recently.
as a participant.
Okay.
You know, I was not running it. I went there just to have some fun. Some friends were going down and got on my team. And it comes to this question. They're asking about president's dogs or president's pets. And
I wouldn't have a clue. No clue.
You can have dogs in the White
exactly.
Oh, I know the answer 100%. Go ahead and ask it.
So I'm actually blanking on the question entirely.
Not only
this
the
is how bad I am.
but the
This is how bad.
questions.
I remember the answer though.
There
I
were
remember
only
the
10
answer though.
people
I
that
forget,
make it
which. I already forget which
So it's
president
like
it was.
backwards Jeopardy. Go ahead.
But anyway, I thought it was a dog. It turns out this president had a raccoon, and its name was Rebecca. I thought, based on a question I've asked in the past, that he had a dog named Rebecca. So I said, listen, what if it wasn't a dog? What if it was a raccoon? So we put Rebecca down, we wagered the full points, and we got it right, and it got us first place.
Whoa.
So that's the
Well done.
that is the one question I've probably retained.
But who's the president? What's the answer?
I don't know.
He doesn't remember.
That's the problem. I have cared so little for the things that have come out of my mouth, question-wise, over 10 years, like that. Even that question that was asked, it's instantly gone.
I'm glad you won. Do you know how many people there probably just wanted to beat you? Like everybody was there. I was like,
Oh, no. He got the question.
So-
He's not saying that he won the
oh,
event.
you didn't win the whole event. You just got the question.
Oh, our team got first place.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
This was the
Other
last
people
question.
can win too.
This was the last question. This was all the points, all the chips on the table. So we cinched it.
Okay.
Well
Yes.
done.
I lose all the time. Just I'll put it on the record.
I'm just gonna bring this up. I'm very proud. I'm very proud of myself for this. I mean,
Tiger
I've
Claw,
won.
Tiger Claw.
You can't tiger claw me.
Yeah, how does that work?
It doesn't.
I don't think we've actually explained what a tiger claw is. We need to do an intro. Like when somebody says tiger claw, we need to have like a thing just explaining.
We
it.
literally-
And now
Yeah,
for
yeah.
a commercial break.
We literally recorded.
that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
so
We
good.
did do this already. We recorded an intro where you explained Tiger Claw.
So I was
We
gonna
got it.
say I'm very proud of myself. I won the Harry Potter trivia at Mountain
Did you
State.
really?
My team did. That's
Oh,
right.
that would have been so fun. I would
Did
love
I
to
run
do a
that one?
themed one.
You did.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
dressed as Hagrid.
Yes, you were.
Yes.
I would love to do like Lord of the Rings or Friends or Harry Potter.
Yeah,
Those
there,
would be
there
so
needed to be more
fun.
themed. And here's the thing with the trivias, there's no period on that sentence. But I've moved on to some bigger projects right now, and I kind of needed the extra time during the week. And it wasn't just Mountain State. We were doing it down at Shrimp on the Barbie. For years, we were doing it at Green Turtle prior to COVID.
Well, we always wanted to hang out with you on Thursdays, and you were like,
exactly.
I gotta go to
It's
trivia.
I get 20 minutes, and then it's like, peace, guys. I got to go do trivia.
Before we move on from your previous career, I want to know your best, like, what was the craziest thing you saw as a DJ at a wedding?
Craziest. I knew this question would come. So there's several instances and several stories that I have here. Okay, probably one of the craziest things ever. I get a call for some friends that say, listen, I have this wedding coming up and they're desperate for a DJ. They'll pay you anything. It was a Polish-Mexican wedding. So
What type of music do you play there?
that's just it.
They're not very different, actually. They have a similar kind of
they do.
Yeah.
They do, and there's like some historical context there as to why they have such similar music. They use a lot of the same instruments. So this party ended up going till 4 a.m. And let me tell you, from the oldest to the youngest, they were partying and drinking like, I don't know if anyone was age appropriate, but they were drinking and partying till 4 a.m. I'm talking about like grandma, grandpa, like out there with canes, cracking 40s of some Polish beer. I can't even read. I don't recognize, but they were partying nuts. That went till 4 a.m. It came to the point where their requests were so insane. I turned the computer around. I pushed it towards them and I said, play it. I ended up
Google it.
they were being the DJ. They were paying me to just sit there and let them use my equipment.
Did you know the songs they were requesting?
No, they were, and like,
I didn't know
okay,
if it
so
was
this,
Bruno
I don't even know how to
Mars or-
spell that. How am I going to pull it up?
I didn't know if it was.
this is
That's true.
No.
My keyboard isn't even the right language.
no. I would play like Bruno Mars or something, some super popular wedding
wouldn't?
stuff, like some dance. Line dances, and they go, this is bad. This is bad. We need more polkas. And I'm like, a polka? I don't even know what I'm doing.
I was just picturing Fenton showing up with the accordion and getting out there.
In a past life.
Honestly, if you would have been there to help me with that, my gosh, that would have made it so nice.
Are you two friends? Because I could think you guys would be friends.
I think we're on our way.
It'd
Yeah.
be really
We're on our
awkward.
way, yeah.
It would be really awkward if one of you just said no.
We both looked at each other like, who's going to say
You
it?
were sitting entirely too close to say no.
After this, we're all friends.
Ask me
That's
when
right.
ask me when I'm out of this room and I can get out.
Yeah.
When I'm not locked in.
No, we're fast becoming friends. Absolutely.
So there's a
the fir-
rumor. You've got to confirm this because you're talking about weddings. There's a rumor that Adam Levine, who is in what's Adam Levine? What's
Maroon
his name?
5.
Maroon
Maroon
5 was supposed to be playing at a wedding, and he didn't show. So last minute they had you come to play at the wedding.
Yes. So there was a wedding over in
How
the
does that
Holy
work out?
Cross
They're
area.
expecting Adam Levine to be
Yeah,
there, and then you walk in.
and-
Oh, this is at Deep Creek. There's
I-
a wedding where.
Yeah, this was
What?
at Deep Creek, and they were up in the Holy Cross area, and
Wait,
they-
that's how you know he's not from here. Did you hear how he said it?
This is
No,
like a
how'd he say
mile
it?
from my house. How
It's
did
not
I
Holy
know
Cross.
this?
It's Holy Cross.
He said Holy Cross. Anyway, keep going.
Okay.
Pet
So-
peeve. Keep going. Anyway,
does it have a special name?
it's Holy Cross.
It's actually
Holy
the
Cross?
reserve at Holy Cross.
The Reserve at Holy Cross.
Yeah, so if we're gonna
So it
be
was up in
You
there.
heard it that time. I know you did. I saw you look
I know,
at him.
I know.
All right. Anyway, keep going.
It is up where I've been told all the uber rich people
Yes.
are.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a nice ass.
Oh, no, you got that part right. You got that part
How
right.
did they know Adam Levine? Like, how is he?
I know
here?
somebody who lives
I
next
don't
door.
know. I don't know.
I do
Now-
remember years ago he played, or Maroon 5 played in Frostburg, but I mean,
So-
it's been 20 years.
They
ago.
played at WVU for Fall Fest.
So I
He's from here.
don't want to give
Maybe
him
he's
away, but
listening.
I can be vague here, and you all have Google, so you can just look it up. So the former governor of Ohio and previous candidate for president in the Republican Party. It was his sister.
Let's see how smart she is. Kristin knows that. See, she's not that smart.
It was his sister.
Not that smart,
She was
not
getting
that
married.
salty.
And so they had that political realm connection. So I'm sure they knew him through there. Anyway, he had a last minute cancellation. They were going to pay him stupid money to come here and be their wedding singer, like do a couple songs for them.
Great.
And they were like, "Oh gosh, we can't get him. I guess we're going to have to go with that DJ we saw at Mountain State
So
for the
that's what I was
Halloween party."
Hey, it's amazing you did that job, right?
Yeah.
But are you anxious walking in there and be like, oh man, they're expecting Adam Levine. It's gonna be me.
Listen,
And they're probably already
Yes.
drunk. I mean,
Yes.
what's going through your mind?
I was sweating bullets because this was kind of last minute too. That this change had been made, and I
Did you
got
put
there.
on like fake tattoos or anything? Like,
I should have. I don't know why I didn't tear my shirt off
That'd
halfway
be
through the performance.
I'd be the worst
So,
DJ. I would get too drunk.
so the first couple years, that's why I stopped drinking at all my shows, because I needed to
That was my
remain
next
professional.
question.
The more I drank, the better at this I get.
Yeah.
Uh,
Until you don't.
But yeah, exactly.
but until that point, we reach where I don't. But there are two like super proud moments of my career. One was I was DJing a wedding in Rochester, New York, and we were in a wedding hall, and the party that I was DJing was so hot, so lit.
Okay,
that
lit, hot.
I'm trying to use the parlance of the people.
I know.
I
No.
have no clue what you're talking
When you're
about.
talking to me, I'm like, so you were super sweaty, but you
Yes,
mean
yes.
like it was bumping.
Like, it was bumping,
Got it.
sweating.
Yep.
It was a wild party. That the bridegroom and their like wedding party came out of the next room and in to dance at our party, at my party.
Had official wedding crashers.
A completely different wedding too.
Yeah, wedding crashers.
And I was like, man, I should have charged them as well. Anyway, that's probably one of the proudest moments. The second is being the second choice for Adam Levine for this wedding.
That's exactly how you work. It's not that you were local. I was like, hey man, he couldn't make it.
Yeah,
They called me.
I was-
I'm his backup DJ.
Did you get like a silent nod at the end where they're like, you know what? Nice.
And I was
Nice.
I was
It was
kind
worth
of insulted initially when they called me, because they went, all right, I'm desperate.
Can you imagine making that phone call?
I need a DJ. People gave me your number. I was really trying to get a hold of that DJ that did the Halloween party at Mountain State. And I was like, oh man, well, that was me. So, and I'm super happy that you called me thinking that I wasn't that guy. So I ended up being that guy. So I was insulted by myself in that moment. But no, those are probably the two proudest moments of my career for sure. I guess I have a third one recently, but no.
Getting invited onto the Not Salty podcast.
Oh, yeah.
What's up?
I mean, I didn't want to say it already, but
You can't
Sure,
leave us
it's only
hanging.
like
What's
20
the
minutes
third
in.
one? You can't leave
the
us hanging.
podcast that I go to after this, I'm gonna say it.
The good one.
The third one was getting called for that ABC gig. So in
Oh,
2023,
what is
so
this?
cool.
I
Tell
don't
us
know
about
about
that.
it. What is it?
He's
Yeah,
not
it's-
Facebook friends with you, so he's out of the loop.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
okay.
change that. Can you do that for me? Kristin
Yeah,
does
hey,
my Facebook.
Christina.
okay, yeah. Just have your people get in contact with mine.
I am those people.
Okay,
You're looking at him.
yeah. Well, funny question. I'm currently looking for people, Kristin. So yeah, I got a really great call. Prior to the Thanksgiving holiday, that kind of set things up nice. So in 2023, I was invited by ABC and affiliates to host a show, an 8-episode coverage of some youth sports competitions. Basically, it's their Super Bowl of varsity cheerleading.
Awesome.
They will be
Ooh.
televised events, so it's going to be really cool to.
Has it come out
just
yet,
kinda-
or no? Or
What's-
No.
The 20
We'll be recording those in 2023.
oh wow.
What's the syndication for that, nationwide or global?
Yeah. So I'm covering the north. So they're having me do the show for the northeastern sector. So you'll see me up in New York,
Ooh,
Vermont.
that's so cool.
So how did they
So
find you?
go down.
Like they just
So-
did you
Adam
apply?
Levine.
Yeah, I bet it was. He was like,
Adam
this
Levine's like, yo,
dude.
this guy bailed me out of this crazy situation.
Isn't he
Yeah,
on like the
I got
Masked Singer or
personal-
something? Like,
He is a good
on there
singer.
next.
No, they were actually some folks that had been coming to my trivia shows,
Nah.
and they were beside themselves that I was semi-retiring from that. And like I said, there's no period on that sentence. I could pick it up again. I really did enjoy those shows, but to pursue some bigger projects like this one, I needed to kind of take a step back. But they were so kind of beside themselves that they gave me a call. And they said, listen, we really need some outstanding hosts. We've seen you in action. We know what your work is. You know, they were at the Cindy's Fund event that happened, the lip sync event that happened in Oakland.
So it all
And they were
happened
really impressed
because
with
you were
my
at Deep
hosting
Creek
that.
and they were
yeah.
at Deep Creek. And
Yeah,
that's
they
cool.
were really right place, right time. In the industry, I guess it's what we would call a bigger break. You know, got the contract. The ink is dry on the contract.
That's
So
so awesome.
they're gonna come. They're gonna come pick me up here. You know, take me to the
limo.
shows, bring me back. Probably not. It's whatever.
Are you going to
know.
be flying out of Garrett Airport?
No, I don't think I'm that special. I think I get in the van.
Oh,
and
John
then I
wants
go,
to get his pilot license so he can take you.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll probably crash.
John said he can crash anything.
I will get my pilot's license someday, and I hope I don't crash.
But
it's not
Wait.
guaranteed.
crash
I'm
in the
not gonna
simulator.
do it.
That's
you
what you
guys
got to do.
see-
Do the simulator first.
There was just a plane accident out in Montgomery County.
Wasn't
Oh,
me.
good
No,
grief.
I
yeah.
know, but it was a little tiny charter plane, and they flew into a
Ah,
power
I see.
line.
Are they okay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it took
okay.
them like 10
Okay.
hours to get him down because they
Like
had
they
to.
lived? Like everybody was cool?
Yeah, they got
Oh, I'm
stuck.
totally fine then. I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, you're good.
It's a bad time for planes.
They ran right into like the transformer, and they had to like shut all the power down.
Maybe you're
and
thinking about
Good
it wrong. Maybe he
grief.
was crashing, and that was the way he didn't. That was a safety net. Like,
yeah,
maybe it was-
however it worked, they're both
like Sully.
fine.
He maybe
so-
just
they
didn't like
wrote
the
it.
way that neighborhood looked. I mean,
hey.
it's hard.
it's a
to
bad
Blocking
time
my
for planes.
view.
Anyway, yeah,
Yes.
you're good. He can fly you.
Yeah,
Or we
there
know
was,
someone that
Well, not
can.
yet. I've never done it.
He's literally not tried it all. But wait, you had a drone.
And I gave it to you.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then you wrecked it.
I'm not offering to fly him.
So that's actually this is why this podcast is going to work. Like we're on interview number 5. All 5 of you guys are totally different people. You're all from Garrett County, and you all have really cool stuff happening to you. Like that's a neat story. Like the story would still be great if you were in New York and ran into him, but the fact that you were here at the lake doing a Cindy's Fun charity event, and don't say who they are, I guess the person who staffs the show for ABC was like, "Hey, what's up, man?" Like that's insane.
Yeah, so they actually host the events, and they had done contracting. They did for a couple networks, and ABC was the one that landed it. So they kind of put me in touch with the people and said, you know, this is the guy we want for the job, and I was probably the cheapest too. So
Hey,
That's
whatever.
like
I guess
the,
that's summer.
the
Room to grow.
connection. The connections, though, like. You just can go so far now.
Oh
just
my
like with
goodness.
those connections and that
100%.
network.
Well,
that's just
and
so
let's not
freaking
forget
cool.
that the networking and the talent. I mean, come on, you built a career off of people just complimenting you. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
there. You got it, man.
My HGTV stuff, I got paid $500, and it cost me $350 to join whatever union I had to join. So I didn't really make very much money.
yeah, that was one of the
Screen
first
Actors
things they asked me
Guild.
to.
I bought another pair of pants, and I was even.
You were able to use it in your marketing.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what it was.
I think that's where they say it comes in most handy, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I think that was the first thing they asked me too. They were like, "All right, who do we contact to set up all your stuff?" And I'm like, "Are you asking me if I've got a person for this? Are you kidding me?" Like,
let me get back to you. They might be busy.
yeah. I'm gonna go ahead. I gave them the week off. They're sick. Just go ahead and give me all the details. I'll have them send you something. Then I create a fake email.
Oh,
and-
I'll totally pretend to be your secretary.
Oh, there we go,
Yeah,
there we go.
100%. Yeah.
We're really glad for your success, happy for you, but I do miss you at McDonald's.
See, I get that a lot. Probably.
You got to tell the
My
story
whole
before
career.
John did. He was going to tell the story about how he met you through McDonald's.
No, this is not it. Maybe I did, but
Oh, let's hear it.
so my office sits right across from the "Hi, man, take your order" thing at McDonald's, and our walls in the office are pretty thin. All day long, I hear, "Hi, can I take your order? Would you like fries with that?"
It's
Like,
very loud. It's
Can you hear it
very
in your
loud.
office
Oh
too?
my gosh.
Okay, so Mike and I are probably 150 feet from that thing in a different building, and that thing is so loud we can hear it through the walls and whatever. And then one day, they hired somebody new. And I was like, man, I recognize that voice. And I sat there for 8 hours or 5 hours when I worked that day. And I was like, I know that person. So I finally went over and got a soda. And I was like, Patty, when did you start working here? Like, it was so loud, I recognized the person's voice.
Wow.
And, it is legit in our office. Sometimes
It's
I
like
wonder,
a wiretap. You can, yeah.
if we're on the phone with somebody, I wonder if they can hear the McDonald's going in the background.
I've not gotten I've gotten a comment yet, but.
And you have no idea how many people get in arguments in the line at McDonald's with their spouses. It is entertaining as heck.
yeah.
Like, today I heard 3 or 4 people.
It comes with French fries.
They yell at each other and tell each other to shut up. I'm like, geez, people, it's just chicken nuggets. Like, they legit get mad at each other in the line
Change
at
their own.
McDonald's. Yeah.
I mean, however you get the aggression out.
It's insane. But no, we're very glad you don't work there anymore. But I had to throw it out.
I mean, I was thankful for those days.
It's a
Again,
great start.
That helped get that recognition and kind of just, it's not like I got discovered at that
Built the
McDonald's
confidence.
drive-thru, but it
That'd been
built
such a cooler story.
Yeah, but the way you
I
related
would like to say I did, but
Simon Cowell came through McDonald's and he's like, it's you.
no, I mean, I don't know how much better it was to say I got discovered at the Walmart as seen on TV section, but
Whatever, man. It's still pretty cool.
Dude, I love that section of Walgreens. The as seen on TV, I go there every
that's
time.
the cool stuff, you can't get that regularly.
You know what
It's
I got?
only on TV.
I've only bought like one or two. I've only bought one as seen on TV thing, and I didn't see it on TV. I saw it at the checkout at Walmart.
What was it?
A battery organizer.
Oh, we have one of those. They're
And
so nice.
They're amazing. I saw one in a really nice house one time. I'm like, that's genius. And then I saw it at Walmart, and I was like,
Did you get the one that like tests if they still
$15.99?
have
Yes.
juice in them?
Yeah,
Oh, it's so
it
cool.
works.
I know
It's
we got that as a Christmas present. It was
Mom,
Brilliant.
if you are listening to this, that would be a great Christmas present for me
John
this year.
wants one.
My batteries are insanely unorganized. I have a drawer, I throw them all in there, and it makes no sense.
But
That's a
yeah,
great
you're
idea.
like, I'm out of them, and then you're like, I'm not out of them. Or then you're like, I got plenty, and then you're like, where is it? Yeah.
Are you tired of disorganized batteries?
That's so good.
Buy the battery organizer from
Walmart.
Walmart today.
What's the
seen
My
on
Pillow
TV.
guy? He's been calling you next.
Yeah.
Oh,
You hated your My Pillow, didn't you? You didn't like your My Pillow.
Yeah, I had a couple reasons why I didn't like it, but no, I got a My Pillow and I didn't like it.
Yeah, I also bought into the My Pillow. I don't know if
Great advertising.
this might be controversial. I bought into the farce of My Pillow. Why? Because for the first couple weeks, it was the best pillow I've ever had in my life.
That's kind of what I thought.
And now it's like giving me back pain and neck pain. I'm like, gosh, do I have to replace these every 2,000 sleeps or something? What's going on with this?
They didn't have a disclosure?
Did you
I
read the
don't
fine
know.
print?
How much
I don't
do you
know.
sleep? 2,000 sleeps is a long time. If the pillow makes it 500 sleeps, you're doing pretty good.
Okay, well,
I nap regularly.
It's not a lifelong pillow. I mean,
I try to get naps where I can.
But geez.
well, like I don't know if it's the pillow for me anymore. I don't know if it's my pillow.
Listen, my husband and I, we buy new pillows probably every 6 months because we feel like we find the best pillow ever, and then we hate it in 6 months. We have our spare room is literally nothing but pillows. It's
Then
a
I'll get-
pillow graveyard.
Then I'll get mad at myself because I get confused which pillow it is. And I lay down with it, and I'm like, oh, this isn't the one I like. And then, then what I do is I'll bring
isn't
like
the special
2 or
one.
3 of them with me, and I throw all of them on the floor until I finally get the one I like. It's the worst.
Genius.
No,
Yeah,
it's
I wish
We
I could thought of
usually-
that.
Why do we
I just
have
go-
all of them?
Well,
Yeah.
You wake up,
Well, there
wow,
you go.
why don't I just throw the ones that I don't like away?
Yeah.
They're so much better.
We're breaking
No.
ground here tonight. I love it.
See, this is why I came to the Not Salty podcast.
You were the first person to show up with notes, including us.
So yeah, again,
I
it's
had
just trick of the
them
trade.
on my computer once.
you do?
but-
You're cheating?
No.
What is on your computer? What are you
We're recording. This is the.
You
computer.
can see us?
I mean,
No, I can't.
doing radio for years, it's just standard to have your show notes on you, and it's for those moments where you may
Yeah,
get
I
some
was
dead
reading
air.
yours, by the way, and I
Oh,
was
yeah,
I was just
this
gonna
is
be like,
pretty
hey,
standard.
Is it?
But is it
This is pretty standard. I'll take-
alligators?
Okay, all right. So I'll
it's
expand
not.
my show notes since
Yeah, it literally
you are
says
peeking
alligators.
over at my notes here. No, so some of the number one go-tos for my show were talking about groups of animals. Can we pull that up? What's a marten?
Yeah,
Damn,
it's like
Jimmy.
a fisher. It's like a
As
dark.
long as you call me Jamie, I'll pull it up.
Jamie, can we put that up? So anyway, a group of martens, whatever they may be, it's called a richness. A richness. All right.
There you go.
And that's
Yeah,
better because
it's like a cross between a fox and a ferret.
Yeah,
Oh
they're
my
so
God.
cute.
okay, well that thing's
Super
adorable.
cute.
They trap
Yes.
them. They trap them for their fur.
Oh,
That's right.
well, that's why they're called a richness. I mean, if you look at that thing, I
Come on, get down with the richness.
Yeah, so that's kind of some standard stuff, that, and I might throw in some animal mating noises too, just to see, what sounds funny. By
What's
the way,
the Marten mating noise?
Yeah, okay, that let's insert that.
We'll add that in post.
Yeah, go ahead and play that now.
I get it.
That should be in those seconds there.
I think that's the blue button. Oh, perfect.
Okay. Let's see, and yeah, just other stuff like that. Usually we go for the day of the day. Whatever filler fun stuff could go in the afternoon. And believe it or not, people live for that. They want to know what the hallmark day of the day is because every day now has its special holiday. Today's the National Day of Giving, by the way.
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah,
don't
by
have
the
to be
time this
thankful.
airs,
It's Giving Tuesday. It's always the Tuesday
Giving
after
Tuesday?
Thanksgiving.
Okay.
you got it. It's also Chadwick Boseman Day.
I don't know who
So you
that
can
is.
Rest in peace.
That is Black Panther.
Wakanda
T'Challa,
forever.
The actor.
the actor. Yes.
Okay.
It's Chadwick Boseman Day too. There are a bunch of other like weird days. It's like Kevin Day too. So Kevin,
It's also
Happy
Kevin Day
day.
today.
Kevin,
Yeah.
who?
Just
I only
any
know
Kevin.
Mike's just
only
excited
one
'cause
comes
he's
to
just
mind.
Super excited.
Any Kevin at all. So if you're Kevin, this is a good day for you to celebrate.
If I ever
wow, isn't
get
that
a
something?
male pet, I'm gonna name him Kevin because that's just the cutest
been
name for
done.
a little dog.
Yeah. And if you're wondering
You know
what the next day of the day may
Mike.
be,
Third most common name in America. Shut up.
there's got to be a Mike Day.
Oh, I'm sure there's several Mike days. Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, because there's different Mikes.
You get a Mike month. There's so many
If
Mikes.
I
You get
did
a Mike
have
month.
a Mike month, it would probably be March.
March.
Yeah, probably March.
Oh, 'cause
Michael
the M.
March. March Mike.
Michael March.
March Mike.
Anyway, literally
Okay,
next
moving
fucking
down the
topic.
list.
March
Moving down the
Magnus.
list.
March Magnus.
Let's
Okay.
get
I
back
like
to the
it.
cute animals.
So you gave up DJing.
Yes.
So now you're working for county government.
Oh yeah, this is big
yeah,
news. This is big news.
So yes,
Yeah.
this I love to be in absolutely everything. Yes, I am in county government with economic development too. It's actually been one of the most rewarding jobs I think I've ever done. Connecting with local businesses, and as a business owner for the last 7 years, I've been doing this on a volunteer basis anyway. Trying to support and uplift the local business community. And they finally said, hey, do you want to get paid for that too? And really couldn't resist that. So I got kind of my cake and got to eat it too. So still involved with radio a little bit, still cutting production commercials. I don't think that'll ever go away. I really love doing that.
He did commercials for us for football.
Oh, yeah. So
He sent me the
what?
soundbite, and
So
I was like, "It's
technically-
perfect. I love it."
technically
you
a
made commercials for this?
For Rayleigh Realty, yeah.
Technically a Rayleigh
let's
Realty
put 'em on
employee
here.
too.
Anyway, economic development. You give out grants. Does the podcast count as a new business? Are you giving us some grants? Is that why you're here?
Ask me later.
Don't want to get that.
Of
Wait,
course.
play
We've
the
got tons
cricket.
of-
Play the cricket sound.
I think it's that one. Yeah.
We've got tons of money. We've got tons of money for new businesses.
No, but I think it's really cool because that is literally part of your job, though. Like you find a new business and you find
what
ways
we
to
can
support them.
We do what we can to support them. A lot of the times it's kind of we have some small grants available, and sometimes it's just as simple as some free marketing resources that we provide through county economic development that businesses, especially smaller businesses, have really been benefiting from. Some of the larger businesses, we've been doing some spotlights on them for their hiring needs, because everyone's kind of looking for new employees right now. So we're just kind of pulling resources. I go out personally and I connect with every single one of our businesses, ask them questions, see how everything's going in their business, if they're looking at expanding, growing, if they're having any problems, and more importantly, what we can do to help them in their mission of success. Because we have a
You're
philosophy.
doing this for Garrett County.
Yeah. Doing this
really
for
cool.
Garrett County. And it's kind of a personal thing, too, because, I really do love this business community, this community in general. And I really do want to see it succeed. And just being a part of this, again, is rewarding for me. Because aside from, I do what I love every day. And a lot of the audio production stuff I do, I love to do that. but I also love to give back to my community, and this is kind of the way I do that. I get paid for it too, but it really is rewarding to just kind of, see a business that's been struggling, come in there, help them with some resources, and then they're back up on their feet. They're employing people. Their families are happy and thriving here and growing in Garrett County. And we're bringing more people here. They see successful businesses, they see happy people. More people want to come and join us up here in the mountains. And I think that's kind of our aim. That's our mission. We have that philosophy: the rising tide lifts all ships. If one of us benefit, all of us benefit. So.
If you weren't already hired, I'd vote for you. That was a
great.
Man. Yes.
Don't wish politics on me, please.
Right after Connor got the job.
Wait, you get voted? Is this a voting job?
No.
I was going to get buttons.
Right after Connor got hired, I cornered him at a chamber event. And do you remember my tirade on what needs economic development the most?
Yes. And I am working on that still. She wants a doctor for
Horses.
Large animals, particularly horses. I understand. We don't have any vet doctors of that caliber around
Correct.
here.
In the entire county.
Wow. How far do you have to go to get there?
The closest one is Kaiser. So 45 minutes. So there was a horse at my barn literally choking for an hour before a vet could arrive.
What do you do about that?
A vet has to come intubate them. So I mean,
You can't. There's not like a large animal Heimlich that can be.
not by a
your arms
person.
around
You
a
have to
horse?
put it to. Anyway, it's a gap in. Anyway, so as soon as I found out Connor was an economic, I literally cornered him at Firewater up against the giant marble bar, and I was like, "Listen
I'm
here."
like week
Save it for the podcast.
I'm week 2 on the job, and I'm like five drinks
I
deep.
don't even have my business card yet, Kristin.
I don't even have a business card. I'm 2 weeks on the job. I'm 5 drinks deep because they keep it's their soft opening. They're giving me all these
margaritas
drinks.
were so
Oh my god!
good.
And 5 drinks at Firewater's like 10 drinks anywhere else.
Yeah.
you know.
So
They're delicious.
I'm
Firewater
gone.
heady.
I'm really impressed.
that point.
Just that you remember. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
glad
so-
that you're keeping me in
see,
mind.
the gears work. Sometimes molasses slow, but we work on the problem.
Yeah. Real
I'm
problems.
watching.
Real problems. You got it. Trivia questions.
she thinks I forget.
Who cares?
she thinks I forget. I'll never forget.
That's
We'll get
a
you a
good
horse
role
doctor.
for your position,
Yeah.
though. Like, think about this. There probably is a veterinarian horse doctor out there who would want to live somewhere like this, and they have no idea that opportunity exists.
Oh yeah, there's
Like, there's
huge
gotta
opportunity out here, and they're listening to this podcast right
Probably
now,
are.
and they need to move here.
While they're
And, we'll help.
unchoking a choking horse, while they're trying to wrap their arms around a gigantic animal.
Are you looking to intubate horses? Garrett County's for you.
So that's actually what you just said is really cool. So other than bartending, I don't think I've ever actually had a job. Like I bartended my way through college and all that kind of stuff. Then after that, I always started my own businesses. And pretty much I've always worked for myself. 20 some years ago, and even today, I could have really used help like that. Like I don't think a lot of everybody I can't tell you, maybe I've met over the years, including myself, been like, how hard would it be to open a restaurant? Everybody wants to open a restaurant. They see all the money you make and the $50 cheeseburgers. It is incredibly hard to run any business.
Oh,
And
yeah.
especially when you're 22 years old and you have no idea what you're doing. So the idea of the county hiring somebody like you to help the young businesses start or the existing businesses get better, it shows support from the county. And that's just a really cool thing.
Yeah, that's
Thank you is what I was trying to say.
Well,
Good pick.
I'll pay you later.
And thank you, county, for hiring somebody who cares.
Yeah,
There's
legit.
there's two different things. There's one, creating a position, and there's two, hiring the right person. I
Yeah.
think they hired the right person.
Great. I'm gonna play this to my boss later.
You should.
They probably already subscribed.
They're
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah.
They're already
Nobody
listening,
gives a shit
but
what
They
John
tap
thinks.
that notification bell.
they're already listening. But I'm gonna highlight this section for them.
There you go. There you go.
And just play it every time they walk in the room.
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course.
That guy again.
All right, Connor's talking himself up again. No, they already wonder how my head fits through the doors. I take it and I run a
Are
mile
you two
with it.
friends?
Oh, of course. Oh, wait. He's making fun of us.
Yeah.
All right. I see
Just
how
one
it
of
is.
you. Then not both of you.
I thought this was supposed to be not salty.
Oh, so Kristin asked your favorite question.
What are you salty about?
So I kind of came prepared for that question.
Wow.
This is what I'm salty about. Again, as a voice professional, as a student of communication, and a lover of human contact.
He's about to rip our podcast.
You're a great
I
public
can't.
speaker.
No.
If you want to whip us, I'll take it because you're so much better at this than I am.
No, listen. Podcasts, I
Okay.
can't encourage podcasts
All right.
enough.
Okay.
And quite honestly, locally, I wish there were more. I'm happy with what you guys are doing. First of all, the production,
Not thrilled, just happy.
the production quality of what you're doing is super professional. Whether you think you are or not, I'm very impressed by the quality of the product you guys are producing. So that's to you.
This is all that.
That's Mike. No, it's Mike.
Well, in podcasts, really,
Great. Now my head won't fit out the door. I'm stuck in
Wow.
here.
Make John feel better
No,
quick.
just make fun of me. I'm
Something
used
about
to it.
John.
Top producer in Garrett County. Ah!
Yeah.
Hey, I'll take that to a different level. Thank you for actually bringing up the point about grant money. If the county has grant money, I would like to ask you to give it to another business. Thank you for bringing it up.
Yeah.
Not to say we don't want the money, but give it to
Okay.
somebody
No,
else.
no,
who
but
would like to
really,
help
what
it.
are you salty about?
Well, hold on. Let me finish my sentence. And
Yeah, let's-
if you think it would help and you would be willing to record them, and assuming people actually listen to this, make commercials for them. Put them on here. That'd be
Oh,
cool. If you
yeah.
pick out a
Yeah.
business, I don't know who they are. I don't care who they
They
are.
don't need to give us money.
Unless they're a competitor. Other than that,
True.
you go ahead and if it would actually help them, I would be 100% for this. I think you guys would too.
Totally.
of
100%.
Put a
course,
commercial in for
100%.
it, if it helps them out. Sure.
of
Yep.
course. And I'll have some plugs on that later too.
You can't
so
be
this is
salty
this is
about
good.
that.
No, I'm not salty anymore. No,
I can defuse the situation.
That was it.
I can defuse some stuff.
no. So no, I highly encourage podcasts. You know, they encourage communication, and they get a message and stuff out there. So again, I love this stuff. No, I'm salty about and this is me, but I hate Reels. I hate the TikTok computer voices.
So
Yeah.
Me too. Oh my god.
The
It drives
cringiest
me
stuff in the world.
Crazy.
When they got Siri like reading a line
That's
while
how you
something's
can make
happening in
it
the
I
$100.
background.
hate that.
why don't you make those?
Yeah.
And then people they have to like pay you syndication, right?
Yeah,
Your voice
yeah,
is
You could
so
be the
much
voice.
yeah, but then I'm feeding into what I'm salty about.
Okay.
Well, it's all
No,
different
but maybe
ways
that's
to
how to
say it.
fix it.
You're transmuting it.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
turning it from that terrible. Like I want to like a video sometimes, and then I'm like, oh, you're just doing that thing. Oh my gosh.
I don't necessarily like everything I do, but people pay me to do it. It's how the world works.
Yeah, and people know instantly what you mean when
Tiger
you play
Claw.
that. Like, listen, I can't get on Instagram anymore because it's a TikTok.
I've never been on it.
Yeah,
It
it
real-
is.
it's a TikTok repeater
replication.
app.
Yeah,
I'm a big YouTube guy. I get stuck watching reels somehow every time.
Well, you find yourself like, oh my gosh, I've been like in my underwear 3 hours on my couch watching reels. I was supposed to
Reels.
like.
Yeah.
I was supposed to get something done.
I moved here to go
I was supposed to get
snowboarding.
dressed.
And I'm watching this TikTok.
I'm supposed to be outdoors camping. But
Well, the worst part is they don't even label it as TikTok.
That's how
I'm
you
on
can-
YouTube. I'm like, I didn't
No,
even.
they're
That's
just
how you could get
repeater
your
apps.
camping app to work. Nobody cares about your camping app. Just put a couple reels on
Don't
there.
worry,
Pay
I'm on
attention.
it.
and now they're like, if you're
Figuring
not
it out.
using those reels,
We're not
in
actually
your
going to go
advertising,
camping. We're just going to watch people camping.
Exactly. That's what I did.
and now they're saying if you're not using those reels in your advertising and stuff, you're behind on the trend.
Yeah.
It's like, gosh, I don't
Yeah,
want
that's a
to
good
feed
point.
into what
I hope Kristen's
despise
bosses
here.
are
That's a good
listening.
point.
This is what Kristen says in every meeting, and nobody listens to her.
Oh, I thought it was another dig at me. I
No,
was like,
I'm
No,
complimenting
this
you.
is stuff. Even in
You are
economic
very, very good
development
at
for the
this.
county, we're like, oh my gosh, are we gonna have to start
Doing
considering reels and stuff like that?
No. From a marketing perspective, it's all about what your audience is consuming, and it just the people buying the homes here aren't as into reels as younger people,
Yeah.
and the people starting businesses probably are just halfway into reels.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's
Yeah.
all about your target demographic.
audience.
If
Yeah.
you were starting like a clothing company, 100% you would have to get into it. But it is literally all about what you're pitching, right audience, right message, right time.
See,
Well, we do need younger buyers.
Yeah, that's what we
I mean,
need. We
no,
need to
it's
appeal.
not right. I mean, there is a market for it, but it's like it shouldn't be your number one priority unless that's your target market.
I'm hoping we bring it up. Paul Edwards said he would most likely be on this show. I hope we bring it up with him.
oh boy,
He's one of the
boss man.
commissioners. Yeah, he's going to listen to your episode.
Oh my gosh.
But
Paul,
that's
Paul.
what we're lacking here. We need affordable housing for young people. Like it's very hard. If you're mom and dad and you make $50,000 a year apiece, it is very hard to find a house here to live in and be comfortable. And that's what the county needs to overcome. We're actually, here's another thing to bring up to you if you can figure out a way to help. my opinion is Garrett College should do some sort of hospitality training. I think they kind of do, and they need to expand on it. One of the issues we're having is kids that grow up here leave. And a lot of them leave and they're like, oh my gosh, I miss it there. And they come back, but a lot of them don't. And we're almost educating our kids to leave. And then when they do come back, or we do find somebody, luckily you came here in the 8th grade, but pretend like you would have came here at 25 years old with a family, and I went and showed you a trailer. I mean, hey, you have to live here. You wouldn't have come. You know what I mean? So affordable housing is very, very important in the evolution of Garrett County. Like, we need to fix that problem.
And it's high on their priority list.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and
There's a good meeting about it
you'll
last
see
week.
you'll see that they've made steps to address that. And I think in the coming years, there's no right solution to this issue. Otherwise, we'd be doing it right now. But I think they've got a really solid and smart plan towards addressing that issue. And I really look forward to what we're going to have available here. And, unlike a lot of the more urban areas, we have the room to kind of make it happen. Imagine those areas are facing similar issues and they don't have places to put people. You're looking at a place like Garrett County where, again, I mentioned it earlier in the podcast today that, one of the biggest attractive things to me was the opportunity here.
Absolutely.
When I started a company and I started DJing and I was a legit business, there was not many people doing that. When I wanted to pursue some voice acting and radio and stuff, there were not many people doing that. There was a huge opportunity for me to break into a field that not many people my age were doing.
Right.
And still aren't. I don't understand why. I'm begging for people like, hey, do you want to learn voice acting?
Do you want to learn how to DJ? Because I have
do you
all
want to learn how
these
to DJ?
gigs.
I've got all these gigs. I'm doing my 200th wedding on December 10th.
What? That's cool.
My 200th career wedding.
Do the people know?
Yes,
Yeah,
they do
yeah,
know.
yeah.
They do know. Technically, it's 201, but I did one for a friend, so I'm not counting that as official one. But I'm doing my 200th career wedding. And I'm kind of shutting down that element too. Again, I've got some bigger fish to fry here for a while going into the next year. And again,
but the right thing's not to shut it down. The right thing would be to hire somebody to take your place.
yeah,
but it's hard.
That's
it's complicated.
I would love to do that. And I had some competent DJs under me prior to COVID, and it's on set that I would have had faith in taking the reins when I was ready to go. But unfortunately, it's just I need somebody that's going to be there, that's going to do the work, that's going to give that same quality that I would expect.
Legacy is a blessing and a curse, right? You're fortunate to be in a position to have a legacy, and then you're like, shit, what do I do?
And one of my best friends, Nick Sharps, bless his heart, he has covered for me in a trivia show more than anybody else.
Really? I literally can't see Nick doing that.
He
That
does.
is so
he does.
amazing.
And I think he's very good.
Go
Are you the
Nick.
same age as Nick?
Yeah.
He's a year older than me.
Okay.
Well, maybe a couple.
Technically, no.
Maybe
We're all
less
the
than a
same
year.
grade, though.
Yeah. He was born in the October of 91.
Okay,
so.
got it.
This makes me seem incredibly old, which I'm kidding. But Nick's dad and I used to work at Deep Creek Brewery, and I was the bartender, and Nick's dad was the head chef back there. And Nick was.
I've heard plenty of stories.
Yeah, but Nick was like 7 years old, running around and everything like that. And then I lost touch with his dad for a while and reconnected a couple years ago a little bit. Nick's a full-grown man now. It's so weird it's so
He's
weird
had
when
4 kids.
And he actually, I should know this. What does he do? He does something for the chamber
He is
too,
the
right?
membership development manager at the Garrett County Chamber of Commerce.
He'd be good to bring one here.
Yeah, I think he'd be a good guest because he can talk about everything they're doing, and they really are doing some fantastic work up there.
We saw him give a
as well.
speech somewhere. And he did really well. Do you remember that?
Yeah. He covered
that name sounds
when we were
familiar.
out of a
You'd
president.
recognize him.
Oh yeah, see, I mean, he does fantastic in
He
front
does
of a crowd
such
of people.
a good job, yeah.
And
Public
every
speaking is
time,
hard. Like public
That was
speaking
one
is
of the
really is. It's
questions
having
I was
confidence.
I
Oh
was
my
gonna
gosh.
ask you. Do you ever get stage fright or anything like
so
that?
around when I first got started, yes, there
I did.
are even times.
Oh, John's awful.
I bombed it. I think I've gotten better.
Okay, I will say, like, all right, so
But I
and
still
this is
really
new for
bad
me.
at it.
This is new for me. I've had to do a couple of those like commissioners' public meetings,
Ugh.
and I have found myself with this foreign feeling, and that's been this weird nervousness in front of that crowd. And it's not because I'm
I just
afraid
got
of
it when
public
you said
speaking.
that. I just felt that in
Yeah,
my chest.
yeah,
Like
you
I
feel it?
have that feeling. It's horrible. Yeah.
So And it's not
My
that
zipper
I'm
down?
afraid of.
It's the worst. Everything goes through your head.
Well, yeah, and it's, am I going to say something wrong? Because, okay, listen, we've got, the highest elected officials in the county in this room. Paul's got his dad here, who's a state senator. We may have, the delegate in the back of the room, and I'm supposed to say something and not step on their toes of something they may say right after me. And I'm like, wow. For the first time in my life, I'm thinking about what I have to say instead of just pouring out of me naturally.
That's the big difference. That was my heart. I talk for a living. I talk all day long, right? But I talk to you and there, whoever I'm talking to, and there's not 300 people listening. Then all of a sudden, at 300 people listening, I'm like, oh, I can't say that. I might make Paul mad. Or if I don't say that, I might make Noel mad. Or I might make. It is the hard. You get in your own head. I can't get out of my head. Then I just stand there and go,
Yeah.
So,
what am I?
you know how people are like adrenaline junkies?
Uh-huh.
I'm a junkie for that feeling.
Oh,
I love that feeling.
I wish I could give all
the
mine to
worst
you.
and the worst part is I am like that afterwards. I'm like, what did I just do? But I get myself into those situations because I
When I
love
was
it.
30,
And then afterwards I'm like, oh God, that was the dumbest thing ever.
I really want to come back to the Rings of Power thing.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
I thought the show was super intriguing.
Me too.
I liked it.
Wait.
that was what we got.
Are we going to see the destruction of Numenor on screen? Do you think that vision's
hell yeah.
that vision's
Oh
going to
my
come
God,
to
of
happen?
course.
Okay.
Do
All
I
right.
live under a rock? Like,
You do. Well, you're
channel,
not,
No,
you're
let me
not
ask
a
you.
geek enough.
I was gonna say,
what
do you-
channel is this on?
Listen,
Amazon
All right.
got the rights to it. Yeah, Amazon
I want
Prime.
to put this out there and make it known, public knowledge.
I live under a rock.
You can cut this in. The first time, my dad was obsessed with these Lord of the Rings movies. He read the books as a kid, and when we were young and they were coming out, he was like, we have to go and see them.
Mm-hmm.
So the official count
Same experience for me.
in theaters, I saw the first one 9 times.
Oh,
The second one, 22 times.
Two Towers was better.
The third one, 11 times.
Oh no, Return of the King wasn't fantastic. It came out on Christmas Eve, and we saw it on Christmas Eve. We saw it the day after
Yep.
Christmas. We saw it a ton when it was. Huge fan.
9, 22, 11. That's the
That's
count
so
for how many times
I've been to
Awesome.
he
3
took us to
plays
see it
and
in
I
the
fell
movie.
asleep all 3 times.
That was the answer. The long movies couldn't keep you.
The
I
instant
like
the
long
extended
movies
editions
unless-
come out.
Oh my
boom.
gosh, I know.
Own.
I'm like, thank God.
We
Watch it.
pulled, my
12
sister and I
hours.
pulled our money together. And I was just talking about this the other day. Last spring, I was like super sad and I stayed home, and my husband's on night shift during the winter. And I was like, I really need just a long movie to get lost in. And the Return of the King extended edition is 4.5 hours. And I was like, perfect.
Perfect.
And I started at 5
Perfect.
o'clock and
4
I finished
hours
it.
and 20 minutes.
I finished it at 9:30 and I went right to
Unplug
bed.
in 4 hours of pure bliss.
Yeah,
Insane. It
Yes.
was perfect.
There's,
Isn't there a Harry Potter play that's 2 days? Or there's some sort of play in New York that actually is 2 days.
Ooh.
2 days.
play?
I'm gonna bring that back. I think it is. My dad was
So
telling me about it.
I remember something like that. I remember when they had the supercut of
There's
all
no
the
way I
Lord of
could
the
do that.
Rings, all extended editions in theaters.
Wow.
They had
like the Hobbits too, then like.
Oh
or
yeah,
just,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, and that took days.
It's
They actually broke
it's
it
a
up.
full. I was gonna say
Yeah.
it's a literal full day.
A literal.
Yeah.
Hey, well, this is right up your alley. What about the new Performing Arts Center they opened here? Are they going to do cool? What are they going to do?
I am super excited for that. So I'm
Are you
actually
going
going to be there.
Saturday?
Well,
yes.
What's,
Okay, I'll
what's,
see you
what's
there.
Saturday? What's
They're cutting the ribbon.
That's the ribbon cutting.
You're
So,
not invited.
But you can show. It's outside. Just
What
show
are,
up.
What are you, the super host? You're Kristen's something for the
So
chamber.
Kristen is
I
probably
love
keeping the
this
secret.
tension.
Kristen is probably keeping the secret, but she is a part of an elite group known
Super host.
as the Garrett County Diplomats.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Super host is
Yeah.
close.
So that's run through the Chamber of Commerce, the Diplomats.
It's a lot like Skull and Bones. It's in the basement of this building. Well, we should get that rumor started.
Yeah, that is a creepy basement, but I've never been there. I've heard.
Wait, this place is a
is
basement?
creepy.
It's so
Oh.
creepy.
That's what I said. I know. I couldn't imagine there would be a
I
basement.
think
here.
there actually is Skull and Bone meetings
We can
down
do
there.
a tour.
I'm the fifth guest on this podcast. I get secret access.
So what about the
Back to Diplomats. Kristen, she is one. Every time a new business does a ribbon cutting, groundbreaking, somebody does an expansion, they invite the diplomats, which represent their prospective businesses, and we go and we help them celebrate.
You're in a lot of the pictures. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you're what, the Republican every week?
Mhm.
There we go.
You're a
The-
Republican?
Republican newspaper every week.
So the Performing Arts Center, I have been on the outside of it. We sponsored it. We have a room there,
Yeah,
I think. We
it's
sponsored
super cool.
one of the wings or something.
It's
Nice.
really awesome. I got a tour a couple weeks ago, and it was
Do you guys get your own
awesome.
studio in that room?
We
Why are we doing this here? We
Are
probably
we going to be doing it over at the Performance Arts Center?
Yeah, we have a $8 billion building next door. We're in a closet.
Our room, we're in
Nice
we're in
closet.
like the atrium room, and we have a third of that room.
Oh, I see.
You didn't even get a whole room?
Well, they can divide it with curtains into a room.
Cool.
But the atrium, it's a really
Very
cool.
happy to
Do you know?
sponsor
Have
it.
you
Who
been in
would
there?
divide a room with
I
curtains?
haven't been there yet.
Oh, it's really cool.
I actually get to go the day before the ribbon cutting, the Eric Bird Trio. They're a jazz band. They're going to be doing their kind of like Charlie Brown Christmas
Oh, Mike, you should go to
thing.
that.
Oh, that would be
Jazz
really
special.
cool.
So
Yeah.
that's what
Tickets
I
are
was
still
hoping we'd lead
available.
into. This is
Yeah.
performing arts is not my thing. I don't know about it. I'm going to try to pay attention to you when you're talking about it. But what are we going to do there? Like that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Like, I think it's cool. I think we need that, but I don't know what that stuff is.
they hired a company, Soulnet. Shout out to them. They are running
Wait, the one at the fort?
Yeah.
They moved up to the Humberson building.
Okay, I've seen their signs, but I don't know.
Yeah, so they are doing they're kind of spearheading their outreach and advertising and stuff like that, trying to give it a nice brand so that we can attract bigger musical acts and stuff like that. So in the future, you
Working
could
on that
see
too.
some like bigger bigger name bands and performances there at the center.
You
So
work with
I'm really excited.
You ever brush shoulders with Sullivan over at Moonshadow?
Oh, of course.
I was gonna
And
say,
he has got to be involved at some point.
yeah, he absolutely does.
Who's that?
Oh, good.
A
That's
friend
good
of
to hear.
mine he does all the bookings over at Moonshadow, but he's really trying to help the county book bigger acts. And part of the way you do that is, you get them up here for a weekend and you coordinate so that they're not playing the same places that night. And just,
Yeah.
he's got a lot of experience with
Yeah.
it.
He's
Yeah.
worked
Wasn't it
really
Mike Frotz who told us he saw Aziz on the corner in Morgantown? Like, can we get Aziz down here?
Well,
It would be really great for
Was that
comedy
Mike's
act
episode?
actually because it was.
Yeah.
It
That'd
is
be
limited
awesome.
seating, so you couldn't have like a huge person.
How many people sit in there?
It's like
I'm not sure the number, but here's a
just
funny
north
story.
of 200, 300. I
Back a
think.
couple
That's a lot.
years,
This little town.
and I'm telling you, like plenty of years back when I was going to Garrett College. So I was the sophomore representative on student government, and we were going to spend $20,000 of student. we had this budget that we could work with to hire like acts. We were going to bring Fluffy here, and we called him, we contacted him to bring him here. His comedian Gabriel Iglesias.
Yeah, I
do know him.
I
Yeah,
passed
okay,
his
okay.
tour bus one time
Yes.
on the highway.
We were going to bring him here
You gotta think
and
he
open
would
it up
come-
to the
I would
public.
come to that. That'd be great.
Yeah, and I think
got to promote.
it was going to cost us money, but we thought this would be the coolest thing. We would bring a big act here, and it was going to cost us $20,000, but we thought it was going to be worth it. We ended up not doing it and spend the money other ways, but it can be done.
Did you go to the Jackson Dean concert at the fairgrounds?
I did not.
Okay, so Jackson Dean, I actually do know a little bit about country music. Jackson Dean is a very newer but very popular country music star, right? And I think at the time he had like the 4th or 5th most popular country song in the world. Like he was just jamming, right? And for whatever reason, he played at the Garrett County Fairgrounds this year. And I actually do know the reason. He booked the gig before he got famous. So he got famous really quickly. He played.
Got another one.
Yeah, he sings the song, If I Don't Come Around,
happens to me all the time.
If I Don't Come Around, Don't Come Looking. It's a country song. It's really
Okay.
popular. If you turn on the highway on Sirius Radio or whatever, it's always on there. Like really popular country song. And he got it because that song got picked up by Yellowstone, the movie Yellowstone or the series Yellowstone with Kevin Costner, the show.
Oh.
And he instantly became famous. Like, well, this is my version of it. He'd probably tell you he worked his butt off for years. But in the layman's terms, he became famous really quickly. And his parents had vacationed up here. They lived in Bethesda, I think, and they had a house on the Ogg River. They vacationed at when they were growing up. So he got a gig playing at the Garrett County Fairgrounds. He signed up for a couple of years ago. Then all of a sudden he got famous. And point being is he came there, right? So my kids were all into it. We were all into it. We went and watched it. The whole fair is going on outside. There was probably 10 of us. that watched. Like
It's so sad. Garrett County does not
We had
show
a
up.
private Jackson Dean concert.
Yeah.
I paid $5 to get into that. Most people pay a lot of money for.
Yeah.
So,
Which is great for you.
It was amazing
But-
for me. I was like in the second row.
I was
with my
about to make a
kid,
joke
and,
that's like it makes sense because like all so many top producers in Garrett County love that show, and I know because they're always in the office talking about it.
Well, no, so Russell Dickerson is he's a pretty well-known country singer, and he was at the fair maybe 2 years ago.
Whoa, he was here?
Yeah, and I saw him.
Shut up. I totally missed that.
No, yeah, Russell Dickerson was here, and he was great. And then back in the day, Eric Church played at the Garrett County
No, he
Fairgrounds.
did not.
Yes, he did.
No.
Yes, he did.
No.
Connor,
Look it up.
I
Did that
think
happen?
that's right.
Look
and
it up.
funny enough, I think we
No.
Yes, he did.
There's not a
It
chance
was
I missed that.
before he was famous. I mean, I'm talking like 15 years ago.
Was he 5 and him in
So-
the spelling bee contest? What
a lot of people say
Still,
wild
that's a
things
sore
about the fair.
subject.
So
Eric, if
Yeah.
you would like to come back, we'd love to have you.
No,
Sing
I
Jackson
swear
Dean.
that's 100% true. Before
come on the
Eric
Not Salty
Church,
podcast.
Before
I
he was
really want to go
famous,
see
he
Eric
played
Church
here.
concert, but I want to see it in the South. I don't know why. Like I just think, A, I want to go see his concert, but B, I just want
You
to
wanna
see
wear
it in
a
the
sleeveless
South.
shirt?
Yeah, I want to get fake tattoos.
Put your mullet on.
Yeah, I wanna get, like Kristen
All right,
went to a
I shouldn't
concert.
break balls.
Kristen went to a concert and she put fake tattoo stars on her face. I'm gonna get a fake arm
Yeah.
sleeve.
Wait,
and-
what did you guys call those sunglasses again? I forget.
Pit Vipers.
Pit Vipers. Thank you.
yes, I'm gonna wear those.
He would wear Pit Vipers.
I'm gonna have to get
that.
a fake mullet because I'm going bald. But
I'll
you know
go
what?
with you.
I'm sure somebody else.
No,
will.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
got- it's
I don't
coming
even like
back.
country music. I'll just stand around and be like, yeah.
Like Eric Church.
Country music isn't my shtick either, but I had this girlfriend one time that made me
If you
drive
build it, they'll
down
come.
Yeah,
to
it's true.
Harper's Ferry to see Bocephus, Hank Williams Jr.
Whoa!
Oh yeah,
All right.
yeah. She made me drive all the way down there in a single day. By the way, drive down there, see the concert, and then super late at night, drive all the way back while she slept the whole time. But
I had a dog named Bocephus. He didn't make it very long. Different story.
I'm not really a country
There's no
fan.
button for that.
I'm not a country fan, but that was a good concert. And seeing it, I mean, that's semi-south, right?
Totally. That is
Yeah.
not semi. That is south.
Yeah, okay, that was south. I thought it was a good time.
Harper's
They
Ferry
had a
is
good
so
time.
cute.
Harper's Ferry?
Yeah.
I haven't been. My best friends
Oh.
live there, and I only seen their house in the dark.
We did. We went. We went
Apparently you're
last
not all that
spring.
great of friends.
We work together.
So
Only see
they're
their
on the
house in
same
the dark.
level as you.
They're Mandy's friends.
Please don't come over till after 11 or in the wintertime after 5.
They only like me when I drink.
So I think that building Performing Arts Center is probably a very good thing because we probably will attract them. And that's your job, so please do.
We're hoping. Yeah.
And even not, like, who cares? Like, wasn't there, like, the Pittsburgh Symphony something?
Oh, yeah,
that
it's
came
perfect
down?
for
So,
symphonies and
Yeah,
stuff.
I know they had on their schedule the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra
Okay. That's
was
cool.
supposed to, they were going to do this cross state tour and start it at our Performing Arts Center, but there were some setbacks. You know, it was supposed to start in the summer, but I'm sure they're going to come back, you know.
After listening to this, they definitely will.
Oh, yeah, no
100%.
doubt.
Well, you know, this just add legitimacy to the area.
Have you been to the Honi?
Yes, several times. I mean, I don't think.
It is part of this podcast. We have to ask you, what is your best drunken Honi story?
My
Don't hold
best
back. Nobody's
drunken
listening.
Honi
I mean,
story.
if your sober Honi story is better than your drunken one,
Ooh.
you can use that.
We
but-
could swap this for if you really want to, because I really like to know your best drunken DJ story. They probably be pretty
Okay.
good, especially because you told me
Okay.
you dialed it back. You can
Yeah,
pick. You
yeah.
can pick Honi
First-
or you got your
whichever
drunken
one's
work
better,
story.
yeah,
the
yeah,
whichever
first
one.
the first 3 years of DJing, live game show hosting, I don't think I was sober for a single show.
Were you the man? Like you were up there and you were the man.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
waving your shirt off like a helicopter.
It was
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
all about like over the top performances,
Nice.
and that's probably how a lot of people that knew me in those days still have that expectation of me, and they were like, they come and see me again, and they're like, oh, he's calmed down. So
You know what? Hold on. Just quick note. Even at the spelling bee, I'm like, he's holding back. I know he is. I know he is.
It's the Detroit man. Like, it's
So-
the kid rocking you. It's coming out.
I was listening to one of your guys' promos, and I think that the spelling bee is mentioned.
It is,
Totally
yeah.
is. It's
Okay,
one of my
so
favorite things to
if
talk
you
about.
have heard the promo,
I wasn't even there.
I was the host of that spelling bee,
Yes.
and they had special spelling juice that apparently you did not have enough of.
No, I did.
Oh.
Just not till later. I convinced myself.
Oh wait, you won one of the rounds, did you not?
Yeah.
I won the only round that mattered.
Did you beat
The
somebody?
first official round.
So technically,
there-
I beat Karen Myers because she messed up. She should have won. She should have won. She was up there. She was trapped like, bah, 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 bah. And like, oh God, here I got to go against her. Jesus
My vocabulary
Christ.
consists of 120 words, and I know how to spell 7 of them. I would not have done very good at that.
I don't know how I did very good.
Well,
Honestly,
I think
got
the point of the
lucky.
game is to drink enough spelling juice to where you think
Then yes,
Yeah,
that you
yeah,
can
yeah,
do it.
Yeah.
that's your excuse.
And I'm not taking any credit from you, Kristin. I'm just saying when I was left with just Karen Myers on stage and she was like dropping words.
What was
like,
the word?
She messed up rhododendron,
I couldn't spell that.
Yeah.
but I didn't. I just didn't think that was. And then
you got?
I can't spell it either.
Did you
so.
get out on Tuscaloosa the second time?
No.
Or you got that right?
I got Tuscaloosa right. I
Yeah.
don't remember which, and I've never even seen that word in my life. 'Cause-
Tuscaloosa.
And everybody was like, "Oh, Oakland," or
Yeah,
no, what was it?
Lachlan.
Lachlan. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, you were
Honi
telling a story.
Favorite Honi story.
Or wedding.
Okay.
It's your pick.
Actually, I'll give you guys several. Favorite bar stories.
Okay.
And okay, drunken DJ story. All right, that's fine.
Yes, give us both.
Okay. Let's see. I did one time go to Honi, and I drank so much that we found one of the monkeys. They used to sell the Honi monkeys, and we actually created an Instagram account called Spank Monkey at Honi. And that existed. It actually just recently got deleted a couple, like 2 years ago. But for 8 years, that did exist. Just so you know. So Spank Monkey Honi was created one night of drunkenness, and it was me going around videotaping and taking pictures of people
Spanking the monkey.
the monkey.
Welcome
So,
to Deep Creek.
They sold monkeys.
They had little monkeys in the gift shop, and I grabbed one. I didn't even pay for it. I don't know.
Oh, okay, so they were still for sale. You didn't find it
No.
like buried treasure
And
in a pirate ship, right?
I probably owe them some money for the monkey.
Okay, all right.
We'll settle up later.
Back when I bartended at the harbor, like the harbor and the Honi had a big thing going against each other. Like everybody liked each other, but it was like a little rivalry, right? And the harbor bartenders would climb up on the roof of the Honi, and this is before Instagram and all that kind of stuff. We had Polaroids, I think, but we would get behind that monkey and pretend like we were humping it. And we had to do that once a year. That was your rite of passage if you wanted to work at the harbor bar. Like that was
nice.
if you didn't do that, you didn't get a job there, and you weren't the first.
Oh, okay. So
first
spanking the
started
monkey
Instagram.
is actually carrying on a tradition.
Well, I think
Yes.
that's actually a gorilla on the roof. I don't know,
Yeah.
but
There's a, wait.
Close
sorry,
enough.
is there a gorilla?
There's a gorilla on
Yeah.
I don't
there.
look up. Yeah.
you've never seen the gorilla on
No,
the
it's
roof?
not my. Why would I go like that? I don't know.
He's gigantic.
Gigantic.
He's a big old
Have you
gorilla. on
noticed
the
the
roof.
elephant in the
I
yard?
keep my head down. I keep my
drunk do
head
you
down,
get,
guys.
man?
Wait a minute. There's a bar at Honi?
I can't wait till Sunday Mike tells us his best drunken Honi story.
I know it. Oh,
Got there, got out of the car, passed out on the lawn.
Didn't see a gorilla.
Never actually made it in the door.
I saw the elephant. I mean, come on.
Okay, best
let's
drunken
see.
DJ
Best
story.
drunken,
Now, are you DJing at the time when you're getting ready to tell the story? Like you're coming to work and you're excited and you're taking Adam Levine's place and I'm the man and you just have a couple too many shots with the bride and groom?
Probably my best drunken story. I have two here because the one I didn't DJ at all. I was just doing this bar hop
You got
on my
paid
way
to
to the
drink?
mountain. No, I didn't get paid for this. This was just me having a good night. I was on my way to Mountain State's Halloween party, and it was always off the hook. Oh, yeah. You know, that's where you were for Halloween. Now it's at Dutch's for their Halloween party. But at that point, it was Mountain State. And we decided that we were going to hit 5 bars on the way, and we did. So by the time I get to Mountain State,
There's only 5 here. You went everywhere.
yeah. I went everywhere. I'm blacked out by the time we get to Mountain State, but I continue to have drinks. And I think Aaron walks past me with a pizza and I assumed in a mind I couldn't control that was for everybody. It was actually a customer's pizza. And I had gone over and I had helped myself to a slice of that pizza, put it on a plate, took it over. That guy was dressed as a Ninja Turtle. He tried to fight me.
No, he didn't.
He did.
You got attacked by a
Ninja Turtles.
Was it
We're gonna
Raphael?
need Aaron to collaborate this story.
Was it Raphael or Monticello? Which one was
I
it?
couldn't remember, but he was dressed as a
It's Donatello.
Or
it was,
Michelangelo.
Which one of the 3? I combined them.
it was one of them. He was dressed as a Ninja Turtle, and he was going to beat my ass.
Did you know him? Like, is it a local person?
I did know him, but
You're like, Mike,
was,
calm down.
I
I was
was-
a piece of pizza.
I was dressed as what I call Too Tight Star.
Oh, you were dressed up too.
So Guardians of the Galaxy
Halloween.
just come out.
Wait, who?
Too Tight Star Lord.
Oh.
The costume was too tight,
Yeah, well.
but I had a
That
mask
would have
on.
been an Instagram thing, like to see a Star Lord fight the guy from Darth Vader fight a Ninja Turtle.
It almost happened. It almost happened that night.
legit.
I would have actually just got beaten because I was so drunk out of my mind. I wouldn't have been able to
You
react.
wouldn't have felt it.
But I had my mask down, so he didn't recognize me. It's actually somebody I know.
No kidding. It's two friends.
And thankfully, someone did come in. She was dressed as a baseball player. She came in between us, stopped us from him from beating me because I wouldn't have been able to do anything at that point. Thankfully. And we have since made peace. Yeah,
I'm just
we have since
imagining
made
you.
peace.
I'm just imagining you shoving pizza at your mask.
So she grabbed my
wasting
mask.
it.
She grabbed my mask.
I can't
and
get
pulled
it in
off
there.
and was like, "It's Connor. Don't beat him up." And he was like, "Oh, you're an idiot!" Like,
Don't touch that pizza. You mean this
He would have
pizza?
given you a piece of pizza anyway.
Aaron cut me off and threw me out after that.
What can
Yeah,
you
you gotta
do?
go.
She's from Jersey.
Yes, she was right to do so because I just took pizza off of a paying customer's plate, assuming that it was for everybody in the middle of the Halloween party.
There's a bar in Baltimore across from Canham Yards called Pickles. And anyway, the guy who owns Pickles bought a house up here, and I was talking to him, and I was his realtor 20-some years later. And I was like, hey, man, I'm halfway embarrassed to tell you this, but when I was in college, I got kicked out of your bar. And he looks at me, he goes, don't worry, I have too. I think it just happens. You get kicked out of bars sometimes.
All right, best drunk DJ story.
Ooh.
Best drunk DJ story actually is also a Mountain State Halloween party. I was dressed as Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes.
Yes, I was dressed as Sherlock Holmes, and I got so drunk that night that I actually was taken home with all of my equipment set up and still playing. They actually had a good time for hours after I had left with
good. You got it,
everything
Mike.
I had available.
I would have had such a good time if I was a sober one, taking you home as Sherlock, being like, find your house. Come on, Sherlock. Which one is it,
I
dummy?
mean, it was a really great costume too. I mean, it's one of my favorites.
Did you have
That I've
a
done.
what's his name?
Oh, I had the pipe.
Watson.
No, did you have
Oh.
a Watson?
Did I have a Watson? No, I did not have a Watson. I had a David Bowie, and actually Nick Sharps was there. He was dressed as me.
That's how you know you made it. When you have somebody else who wears you
Take
as a
that,
color.
DJ Johnny Rock. I have people dressing up like me.
for the
That's
Halloween party.
excellent.
Yeah.
Johnny Rock used to like play like the Southern High School proms and stuff.
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
he was legit. Like he was the man. When I
He-
first
he
moved
did my
here, it's
prom.
like,
Yeah.
there you go. Yeah. What happened to him? Is he alive?
He got married and moved to DC. Whether he's still in the game, I'm not sure. I have not been able to keep up with him.
Johnny, if you're listening, come on the show.
Yes, we want to hear from you.
We'll bring Connor back.
We'll have a reunion. We'll talk about our days at Chanticleer.
Yeah.
All right, Kristen's giving us a signal. It's time
He's
to
giving
wrap
us
it
the
up.
finger swirl.
Connor, thank you. Congratulations on all your success, man. You 100% have a voice for radio. I thought Mike did, but yours is better.
Yours is way
Oh,
better.
100%.
Thank you guys for having me here on the Not Salty Podcast.